Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all my blessed beloveds out there. It's Living and Thriving time, and this new series that I'm putting together has been absolutely phenomenal. Um, I hate that thing goes off every single time I start the show. So I've been all around the world in the last 2 weeks, nonstop really. I've been doing 5 or 6 interviews a day, talking to people about how they're living and thriving at this time. And I have observed some really interesting characteristics in regards to um, what's manifesting at this time. So there are a group of people that are really excited and really getting, forward moving, forward thinking, finding passions, recreating their lives, doing a lot of inner work, doing a lot of spiritual work, taking the time to garden and manifest, co-create, enjoy, and connect with people. And then there's this other group that's just caustic. And I really am growing concerned about people's ability to get through this in a healthy and powerful way. We're very powerful, and we don't necessarily need to react. We don't need to be reactive to somebody else's comment on their Facebook feed or their Twitter. And we don't need to stuff our bodies with crap, just like we don't need to watch crap. So if you're feeling anxious and you're feeling depressed and you're feeling uncomfortable, turn the damn TV off. That's rule number one in my house. Turn it off. You don't need to stuff your head with that. Turn off your social media. Go on a social media diet. What's one day really going to do to you? What are you really going to miss? Which dinner did Rusty cook this day? You're not going to miss much. Trust me. Find what makes you passionate. Dig deep. Go outside. Go for a walk. You can walk. Everybody can walk. One of my favorite things that one of my guests mentioned was to write a personal mission statement. So write something that you read to yourself that's comforting and inspiring every morning, and then read it before you go to bed and turn that into a practice. We're all going to have bad days. We're all going to have off days. But this is a great catalyst for you to change and rewire your brain. Some of the other things that we've talked about is be of service. I'm really big on wanting everybody to do something for somebody else. There is no greater gift that you can give other than gifting your time, a letter, a virtual hug, checking in with people that in your personal circle that are struggling with either addiction or depression, or in my case, I have a friend who husband flipped out on her, so we're trying to keep her in a safe place. And routines are hugely important. Vacation time is over, people. I'm telling you, the 3-day-old spaghetti stained shirt that you've been wearing, you need to wash it. It's going to start walking on its own. Get up, get dressed, get moving, put on your makeup, put on your deodorant. If you don't wear makeup, you could try. And if you don't want to try, that's fine too. But brush your hair, do something. Get into a routine. You're not necessarily going to the office, but you are alive and you are a powerful instrument on this planet. And we need you to refocus, regroup, and get together. I'm very fortunate that I get to travel all around the world virtually. I've been to Spain and England and Ireland and California and Alaska. If you guys didn't know, my friend, Jonathan, who is the curator of Funky Thinkers, which was a game show that I was on in England, he has actually made a game board specifically for authors and writers. So if you go to my website, you can check it out. It's really exciting. It's virtual. He plays at a distance from his parents because he can't go and see his parents. England's still on a lockdown. And so that was kind of fun. I felt really appreciative that he did that. Today, I'm stupid excited because I have one of my bestest friends ever on. Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
How
are you?
I'm just in this beautiful place of co-creation and excitement. I've had a few production companies call me. It's been crazy. I have been doing back-to-back interviews for the last couple of weeks, which has been really rewarding because I've found out a lot of information Here I thought in my simple world that everybody is in their pajamas and, you know, eating lots of food and getting really fat and watching Netflix, right? Nobody's really, and people all over the world are doing very different things. And I interviewed a woman in Spain, and she was telling me how in Spain they're sitting on their balconies and they're wishing happy birthdays and they're playing music, and in Italy they're doing opera, and it's just it's a beautiful time to grow, don't you think?
Oh my gosh, absolutely is it. We are all being invited to grow and expand and tap into our own personal gifts, which we can lose when life gets too busy.
Oh gosh, and I think this is a great time to reinvent who you are, what you want. It's a reset, and I'm sorry about your loss. I'm sorry that that has happened in this time period for you. Um, but you are able to take life and move forward. Talk to us about some of the things that you're doing right now, because I know you, I'm very selfish. I don't want to have to share you, but I am, because you're fabulous. Um, so, give us what you're doing with Dasha and the poetry and all the books. I talked to Marilyn the other day. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, I was like, she's grown so much. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, I love Marilyn. They've been a godsend in my life,
Yeah.
total godsend in my life. So yeah, it's such a beautiful interaction and connection with people that come into your lives. And I met Marilyn and Steve at one of your events
Mm-hmm.
years ago. So you were the one that connected us, and it's been just a beautiful synergy of friendship and work, and them helping me make my dreams come true with the books. So yeah, they're just great people, really great people. So you are a master networker, my friend, master networker.
I don't see that. I just see, you know, I see the beauty in people. I see the potential, the excitement. And when I first met you, you were just so sweet and not really fully embracing yourself. And now you're a freaking powerhouse. Woo! Go girl. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing. How are you and Dasha? And what are you doing are you still writing poems?
Yes, actually, I was hoping to read a brand new one today, actually, and share that Sunshine shared with me the other day. It was a really beautiful one. So what am I doing? I am making sure that I feed myself, and I am making sure that my soul is being fed so that I may support other people from a place of grounding and strength and connection to the spirit world, so that the support that I'm offering is guided to me. So it's not mentally or physically what I think I should be doing to help people. I'm actually asking for guidance. What does this person need? How can I support this person? And allowing that guidance to come through. And then I know that I'm supporting people in a way that's empowering for them and not feeding into wherever they are in that moment necessarily. And that's always been my way since I began this work, whatever it was, 18 years ago. Always about empowering people. That's my key passion. So what I'm doing to feed myself, thankfully, my dog Dasha um, gets me up every morning around 6:30. He doesn't really care what time I go to bed. So it's my fault if I go to bed at 2 a.m. because he's still getting me up at 6:30 to go out. So I'm very fortunate to have a dog that says, time to get up, time to go on your day, time to get outside, let's get going. So my routine has been to get up. Now it's warmer out, I can get up in my PJs and throw a coat on and go outside and let him take care of his business and bring him back in and feed him. And then actually what I've been doing after that is I've been going back to bed for about an hour and listening to meditative music. And if necessary, resetting my mindset if it's gone awry, because you know how quickly the mind can kick in the minute you're awake. And if it does or has gone awry in any way, then I now will not allow myself to go out into the world in that mindset. So I will do meditation, or I will focus on something that makes me happy. I make sure that everything that's in my apartment brings me joy. There is nothing in my apartment that has any background to it that doesn't make me happy. So anywhere I look in my apartment brings a smile to my face. And then when I get up, normally I'm either going to go to the barn and hang out with Sunshine, my miniature horse, who channels poetry. And being outside, especially now with the sunlight out, being grounded, being out in nature is my food. I can have an empty refrigerator and go outside and be completely fed. So most important piece for me right now is getting out into the woods every day, no matter what, even if it's 10 minutes, every single day. And just being with the trees and the crunching of the leaves and the water, and all of those elements are innately part of all of us. So by separating ourselves from it, you're unplugging from what is innately part of what makes you up. So to be able to channel into that energy and connect to that energy and give thanks, and be in admiration of nature. She hasn't stopped moving forward. She's still going for it. In fact, she's going for it a whole lot better now that we have slowed down and disappeared for a little while. She can actually do her work. And it's gorgeous out there. And the water is flowing, and the trees are budding, and the flowers are blooming, and the birds are singing. And we lose track of being connected to that, and seeing the hawk that's flying high up in the sky, and reminding ourselves to look at the bigger picture. It's all of it. It's all right there. We don't have to look for it. It's right in front of us every single day. And I believe what we're being given now is the opportunity to be, well, we have no choice, right? We have to be present, because there's nothing, we're not being given anything else. We're not being given anything that puts us into the future. We can only work from today. And so nature for me has just been an incredible support system. The horses at the barn, hanging out with them, touching them, and just being in the moment and being fully aware with all of my senses what is happening in every single moment of every single day. And it's incredibly healing.
That's one of the things that you and I think, bond over the most, is that we just love that presence. And thank you for liking my Facebook post yesterday. It just came to me before I even opened up my eyes that I had to write something that people could repeat to themselves that would spur them into action. And what I love about you is you're always in the action. You're always centered. I mean, I'm sure you have your bad days, but I don't think I've ever actually seen one. But you do a meditation group socially on Monday nights to help people, and you're always available, and you're always in service. And I cannot stress how important that is to people. This is going to come out wrong, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. What do you get out of being of service? I want you to really explain how beautiful it is to give the gift of yourself to somebody else.
I get it. Yeah, no, it came out just fine. So many years ago, when I learned about the balance between giving and receiving. So, being in service, you're giving. And sometimes you forget about yourself, but you also can forget about the gift of other people wanting to give and you receiving. And what I was reminded of many years ago was know the joy that it is to give, which is what I love to do. Now imagine somebody else wants to give to you that same way, and you say, no, I'm fine. I can handle it. I got it. And how that person is going to feel, because that would be you if somebody said no.
Mm-hmm.
And there's such a energy shift and a heart opening when you're able to balance both and give and receive. So one of the gifts that comes back when I'm in service to others is the empowerment that it produces for them. So I'm not about holding people up. I'm not about giving them the fish. I'm about teaching them to fish. I'm all about, yes, I have gifts that have been developed over the years because I've dedicated my life to this work. But we all have the same gift. We were all born with them. So how do I help people to see what their gifts are, to see that they too can connect to spirit, that they too can sit with a tree and get a message? And then what comes back is, so 2 years ago, I do an 8-month program every year. And 2 years ago, I had this program. There were 12 people in the program. And one of the exercises, one of the weekends, was to go out, sit with a tree and ask for a message. And, you know, initially people are like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm going to get a message from a tree. Fine, whatever. And, you know, we've obviously set this up. We've done work prior to it so that you're not going in fully in your head. You are there with your heart. And I literally just invite people to go out, like go out on my land, go find a tree that calls to you, sit with a tree and ask a question. And just sit there and wait. And one of the women, so they all come back, all of their eyes are wide open because they all got something from the tree that they connected with. And one of these women was channeled a poem from the tree. And in that moment of receiving this poem, knowing where it came from in her heart, and then being able to share that with all of us was life-changing. It's that moment that feeds me. I strive to find that moment, to have people recognize that moment, and that's my work.
That is your work, and you do not only you work on humans, but your favorite is really animals. Like you really, I mean, just call a spade a spade. Right. I know you. I don't have to growl at you, so we're good.
I love you, Rustie.
I love you. Before, because we're kind of, it's a very short video.
I know.
I want you to read us your poem that Sunshine gave to you, and then we're going to talk about sitting in presence, because that's something, it's beautiful. It is so beautiful, and it's so hard for people. So read your poem.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. I have to put my eyes on too. And I have to get technical for a second. All right.
You're fine.
So, so just a tiny quick backstory is that when I got my miniature horse, she was 15 months old, and she's always been a little Spitfire, but she came in as a companion to the horse I lost in October. And so when she started to channel these poems to me, I was astounded, one, that I could even hear them, and two, how profound they were. And so her and I have been developing this over about 4 years now and creating all these poems. And so this one was done March 21st of this year. And it's called Blessings Abound in Love and Light. Let's all pull together and do this right. Be in your truth, your light, and your heart. Know as one consciousness we are strong and full of support. This time has unfolded to show us, you see, how we are separated from the simplest of things. Notice how this virus is teaching us all how to come together where no boundaries exist, no walls. And the energies that have surrounded us from long time before, we are finding our way to return to our roots and connect to our ancestors and all they have taught. Let's feel the love that surrounds us now from the unseen world that can support and help. I offer you love, joy, and a reminder to connect with nature and the healing it brings. The fear and concern is fair to a point. Check in with your ancestors, guides, and more. We are in this together, even though it seems we are apart. Let's continue to build strength as we expand through our hearts. Take care of yourself, your loved ones, and more. We can grow exponentially. Of this, I am sure.
Yay, I love it. I love it. It's a fun process to, well, let me rewind. I think we have changed our mental metabolism as a species, and we've, like I always say, we're stuffing our mouth, we're stuffing our head, we're stuffing our bodies with a lot of stuff all at once, and it's a lot of stuffing. And at this time period, people are really struggling with the fact that there's no stuffing. You know, we're not racing everywhere. We're not meeting. Some of us are meeting, but that's 3 times a day. It's all for the greater good, though.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
Bigger picture. And the silence, the deafening silence that some people are feeling right now. You and I totally dig it. I mean, you and I, we've laid next to each other in complete silence for hours and been perfectly happy, because we don't need that stuffing and that filling. We're happy to be together as friends, and the silence is beautiful. A lot of people are struggling with that. It's almost like a detox of, that's the only way I can think of it, is it's really a mental vomiting detox moment, and it's scaring people. What are the kinds of things that you would recommend for people right now to appreciate the silence and appreciate, you know, I love listening in the morning, and I try to detail it every morning, but my heart beating, like I can hear it sometimes when you lay just right, you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's life. And it's like this empowerment of the beauty that we have another day. What kinds of things do you recommend to get into that place where it's just, I can't even, there are no words to describe how much I love waking up in the morning and listening to the cacophony of life. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I feel like what's happening for people is that life got created to be very, very busy and very, very complicated. And in that process, it's a great opportunity to lose ourselves and hide. We can hide behind the busy, we can hide behind the job, we can hide behind taking the kids here, there, and everywhere. And what this is giving people, which is why it's so uncomfortable, is the opportunity to actually see who they are today, where they've come from, and also where do you want to go, what do you want to create. And even though we're in the situation we're in right now, please don't stop dreaming and creating and planning your future and all of those things, because it's that consciousness that shifts this into a different time and space. I feel that for people, a lot of the things I'm recommending or suggesting to people is touch the earth. Mother Earth has an incredible ability to heal and an incredible ability to take your pain, take your anguish, take your depression, take your emotions and recycle them into something more positive. So to be outside, to get as much skin to the earth as possible, and to breathe, just breathe. It's healing is not complicated. It's just a commitment, not just a commitment. It's a commitment. What you get from the other side of it is this clarity and this cleanliness and this openness and this ability to see life in a whole different way. So when you can lay on the earth and breathe, and every time you exhale, release, give yourself permission to release whatever doesn't serve you, whatever's heavy, whatever's been a burden, whatever people have told you things that are not in your highest and best. And you don't even need to know exactly what it is you're releasing. You just need to ask that for every exhale that you do on the earth, that it will take whatever is holding you back, whatever is having those conversations in your head that are not healthy. And as you do that process, you can then use the inhale to bring in the beautiful, loving energy that Mother Earth offers, the nurturing, it's heart-based energy. And what we have become accustomed to doing is working more and living more from our heads and not from our hearts. And your heart is your truth center. Your heart is who you are. And that's sometimes challenging to look at if you haven't been connected to it for a while. So that's one thing. Another thing that works really well is just sit and place your hands over your heart center. And as you place your hands over your heart center and breathe, you also have that physical connection to your heart. And if you have a busy mind, this really helps to focus you in on your heart center. And again, inside your house, outside in the sun, just take a minute to sit and breathe and touch your heart and invite your heart to open, whatever that is for everyone, because it's going to be different. When you do that, take a moment as your heart opens, if you're outside, and just look around you. In that very moment, look around you and notice what you see, you hear, you feel. Because as you open your heart, you open up to all the tiny pieces of detailed information, all the things that are happening around you that you take for granted. I always wonder how many people see the hawks up in the air, because you have to be aware enough to look up to see them. But it just tells you where you are. And if you get distracted and your mind is busy, believe me, I have learned how to work with that one, touch the earth. What I do if I'm on the beach is I actually have my hands by my side and I'm fiddling with the sand. And what the fiddling with the sand or the shells do for me is it gives my mind a job to do so that I can channel and be inspired and get all these wonderful, creative, juicy ideas that come to me when I do that. So that's one way of doing it. It's easy, it's simple. Be open, take a journal with you, because you'll be amazed at some of the inspiration that can come through, and just enjoy the process.
So I'm kind of having a little bit of fun with this pandemic, and you know me very well. I mean, you've seen me at my best, you've seen me at my worst. So you know what's going to happen right now. So in the stores down here, I don't know if they're doing this up north, but we have little arrows and you're supposed to follow the arrows. And so here's the interesting piece, the mental piece. When I was in an abusive relationship and I was sad and trauma and wounded and all of that, I always looked down. You know, that's just the normal kind of physicality. And as I've grown stronger and healthier and happier, I look up, because that's what you're supposed to do. You know, you're observant, you're paying attention. Now I'm being forced to look down again. Damn it, Michelle. What is that about?
No.
I can't do it. I'm going to Publix jail. I'm going to Publix jail. They're going to lock me up because I get those damn arrows and then I huff and yeah, no.
So here's what I started doing a little while ago, because, and I want to get a t-shirt made, and I want it to say, oh my gosh, I can't remember now. A smile is not infectious. You should try it sometime.
Yes, I think we should get t-shirts, flags,
sweatshirts,
air horns, and I want them all to say that. Yeah.
So I decided, because every time I went into the grocery store, everyone was sad, everyone was looking down, everyone was terrified of anyone coming anywhere near them because of the virus. And I have my own thoughts on that, and that's whatever it is. And I just went, you know what? This isn't helping anyone, because if you're fearful and you're sad and you're scared, it affects your immune system. It affects your emotional body. It affects how you see the world. It affects you not being in the present moment. It affects everything that could be inspiring because you shut it out. And I got so tired of going into the grocery store and everyone being so down. And I don't wear a mask, and I don't have to right now. So I decided I was going to go through the grocery store in my usual jovial, happy way. And I was going to smile at everybody I could make eye contact with. And I had no, and so this is part of being in service, right? You have no attachment to the outcome when you're in service. You're not looking to be fed. You're not looking for your ego to be fed. You're not looking for, oh my God, thank you so much. You've changed my life. If that comes for me, that's like a whole bonus to the work. But everything is regardless of outcome. So I decided now every time I go in the store, I'm going to smile at everybody. I'm going to talk to people. And I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to exude all of this love and this positive energy and this happiness. And if it changes somebody, it does. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. I will never know. But I refuse to become one of the herd of sheep and be like everybody else. It has never been my job since the day I popped out of the room. And I will not be told how to act around anything in my life. And so that's what I do now. I smile at everyone. I wave when I'm in the truck. That's what I do.
And I think there is a huge lesson in that regards, because everybody is walking, we're all in this. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. It doesn't matter if you're up, you know, in the air, underwater, in the ground, prepper, Republican, Democrat, green, tea, banana, orange, avocado. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What matters is how we react to each other and respond to each other in this situation. And what matters even more is how you're providing service to somebody else. And I cannot emphasize that enough. You're providing service to other people by smiling, by holding the door open. Everybody is feeling some sort of reaction. And I, as well, sisters, refuse to go down without fighting. And my version of fighting is to bring as many people on my radio show, my new YouTube series, to enlighten, inspire, and create motivation and courage and excitement. And just for 30 freaking minutes, 25 minutes, you get to,
Yeah.
you know, and it's really fascinating to do this series. And you actually were the one who suggested to turn it into a documentary, which I'm all for. And
Yeah.
it's yeah. I think it's powerful to see people going through stuff, because you don't know what you don't know. I've said that for years, but larger than that, sometimes it's nice to know that you're not alone.
Yes.
And there are tools and tips and tricks and things that we can do to better ourselves so that we can be better for the people that are not able to be unscared. Is that a word? Unscared?
It is now. It's a Rustie word.
I get my own dictionary. So right now we need to be a collective, and that is how we're going to win the bigger issue. And to me, the bigger issue is the dis-ease called fear and depression.
Absolutely. Can I interject?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm also noticing in general with people is that the fear, the isolation, the depression, all the stuff, you know, everything that was safe has been taken away. And that's been done on purpose, right? So that we can look at ourselves, but everything we know to be safe has been taken away. For most people, not everybody. So I see this as an opportunity, as I see everything as an opportunity, right? In that, what is it that you loved to do that when your life got too busy, you had to stop doing it? Where are your creative juices? Did you like to paint or draw or knit or felt or make things with wood or whatever the thing is that absolutely fed your soul? We all have a creative thing or things that we do. And I say that to people now. This is an incredible opportunity to tap back into your creative love for whatever it is that you used to do that life took you away from because you had to focus elsewhere. That will feed you in ways that you could never imagine.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to.
Yep.
So tell us where we can find you.
You can find me at nikonaturaltherapies.com, NIKOE.com. And I'm also on Facebook, Michelle Lowery, Nico Natural Therapies. I have three pages up there. I'm also on Instagram, and I do Tuesday night guided chakra meditations for people. It's by donation, anyone can go. No previous experience necessary. I have a new website that's going to be launching here in the next week. And feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help however I can help, even if it's just to smile at you.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're watching Living and Thriving with Rustie, a new vlog, I think they call it, series that I'm putting together during the pandemic to hopefully inspire, motivate, and get creative juices flowing. It's time to be a better version of you, and we always have that opportunity whenever we get to take our breath in the morning and open up our eyes. Yeah, you might have to push yourself out of bed like I do some mornings, but reality is I'm grateful to be alive, and I'm grateful for all of the tips and tricks that I've received over the last few weeks, all of the love, all of the beautiful moments where, you know, I have a hissing turtle in my backyard now. He's grumpy and mean, Michelle. I have monarch butterflies bigger than my head. I live in Jurassic Park. Right now I'm looking at this lizard sunbathing. He's like doing this thing, you know, it's kind of cool. But all of these things I wouldn't have noticed. I probably would have, but most people wouldn't notice because they're too busy being busy. And this is a great opportunity to redefine yourself, recreate those moments, and find new opportunity. There's so much beauty out there, and largely do something kind for yourself and then go out and do it for somebody else. And like Michelle was saying, a smile, you got that all day. Make jokes. Life is short, life is beautiful, and we need each other in a positive and hopeful way. So until then, know that you're beautiful. Know that I love you. Know that I'm over here rooting for you and cheering you on. And well, until next time, living and thriving with Rustie. Bye.